Before I went to prison and before I learned how to master the art of assumption, I was depressed. I was sad. I was hopeless. I was diagnosed with ADHD, with anxiety issues. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, all of these different things, and they were giving me medication for all of these things. And even when I first went to prison, I was still prescribed some of these medications, antidepressants and all of these things. But as soon as I got into prison, I ordered all of Neville Goddard's books, every single one of them. I wanted to master this. I wanted to find out how I can change this part of me, because I knew that there was something more to life and finding happiness. And as I started implementing different visualization techniques, as Neville Goddard suggested, and doing deep meditations, just observing my thoughts and finding peace within myself and resolving these issues in my mind and understanding through quantum physics that we're living in a simulation, an observatory world, a participatory world, where how you look at something actually changes it, and your perception of it is what dictates the events in your life. And when I started really slowing my thoughts down, slowing my mind down, disciplining my mind, controlling the direction of my attention, I no longer had ADHD. I no longer had depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. I could now sleep at night. I found peace in prison through this. While I was imprisoned was the happiest times of my life. And I had absolutely no material possessions while I was in prison, like literally nothing. I have a little box with all of my property in it, everything, a pair of shoes, socks, soap, toilet paper, a pen, notepads, and a lot of books. Essentially, that was all I had in my property, but I was the happiest I have ever been in my entire life because I found peace within me, and I got rid of all the instant gratification, everything that was controlling my attention. I learned to control that in the invisible world, in the subconscious world, going within and finding this peace, and I no longer had any of these issues. And another thing that I determined, for the reasons that I was depressed and I had all of these issues with anxiety and attention deficit disorders, because I was a selfish person, and learning the law of assumption and understanding that we are all one energy, one source. We are all consciousness. We are all particles of God. We're all on the same team. Okay, so I learned not to be selfish. And when I was depressed all the time, I realized the questions that I was asking when I woke up in the morning in these depressed states is all about me. I was always thinking about my life is no good. My life is hope. I was always focused on me. And the moment that changed, that I started to provide value and service to the world, how can I help other people? I'm not thinking about me anymore. It's not about me. And as soon as I did that, I switched from me to them, to everyone else. What can I do for the world? That's when my depression vanished. Because when I found peace within myself, I no longer was focused on me. Now I want to give this to other people. I want to teach other people how they can also find this. And through the practice of the law of assumption, I realized that's why I was having so many problems with manifestation. I was able to manifest small things, or even when I did manifest something big, like a $50,000 win, with sports betting, something would happen in my world that would take it from me. Like all of a sudden, my roof would need replacing, or it would fall apart, or a storm would come through, or my car would break down, or something would happen to where I'd had to put out all this money, or like an illness in the family. Something would happen to where that money would just vanish, because I was in this selfish state, trying to manifest things that I desired instead of becoming the person that I needed to become and provide value and service to the world. And that's what Neville Goddard talks about. Visualizing from the end, changing your concept of yourself, and that's what mirrors the world back to you, what you're manifesting. So when you're in a selfish state, I want this, I want to win, I want to just win this, and it's all about me in this state. That's what's causing your sadness and depression. And it's a trap. Because when you start thinking about other people, how can I help other people? How can I assist people? How can I make 1,000 or 10,000 people feel better today and teach them something that can bring happiness to their life, or teach them something to be more successful? And when you start getting into that mindset, that's true happiness for you, is helping others, assisting consciousness, And through all of this knowledge and experience and different things I did with meditation and learning the law of assumption, what I found ultimately the key is changing your concept of yourself to an unselfish person. Because if you are selfish and we are all one energy, that means that you're only trying to take. You're not giving to yourself. Because if you give something to someone else, provide value to that person, through the law of compensation, there is going to be some sort of side effect from that. But you don't focus on that. You train yourself and become the person that enjoys the feeling of helping others. And if you can become that person that enjoys the process of helping thousands of people, and you create something in your world based on that frequency that you're on, to do this, you will be happy because you'll be in good feeling states, and you'll be in the frequency of lots of great things coming into your life as a side effect to what you're doing. But you never focus, and what I found is you never focus on the money itself and just getting the money, because you're just expecting that, and then you're not in the present moment while you're manifesting, because you're thinking of it, you're not thinking from it. And when you're thinking from it, it's in the present moment. What can I do today to help 10,000 people be more successful and happier and solve problems in the world and solutions in the world? And another thing that really, truly helped me while I was incarcerated, while I was in prison, is I cut out all instant gratification, and I really disciplined my mind and my body. I had physical routines that I did every single day, different body parts I did. And even if I couldn't get out to the recreational yard to where I could work out with everyone else, and they had something closed down, there was something going on, that happened a lot, I would work out in the dorm. I'd do push-ups right there next to my bed. I would do squats right there. I would do everything right there, and I only needed a little bit of space to do this. There's no excuse for this. I didn't have a gym. I just worked out every single day, and I was structured just like I am with my mind. I'm going to do this meditation. I'm going to do this workout, and I have a list of things that I'm going to do every single day, and I'm going to cut out all self or instant gratification. And that also includes desexualizing my mind. My mind was no longer focused on relationships, intimate relationships. That was completely out of my mind completely. My attention was primarily focused on changing who I am, becoming a better person, so that way I can give that person to the world. And that's what my primary focus was on. It wasn't about sculpting my body to a certain, looking a certain way. It was the process of it, how it made me feel. How that made me feel, and how I can transform myself into this person with this kind of mind, with this kind of body, and then show everyone else they can also do this through disciplining the mind and becoming this new version of themselves. And that's what I teach now, is through visualization and through assuming a state of being a different person right now. Not just visualizing yourself for selfish reasons, but becoming the person that does have this physique. You are now a disciplined person that keeps all of your promises to yourself, and you're doing your visualizations, you're doing your meditations, you have designed yourself a specific way. And when you fall asleep at night, you are visualizing yourself and feeling yourself from that place of being that person that is now disciplined, that is now successful, abundant, and provides service and value to the world. Because that's truly what makes you happy. Because you think about it, if you take a day off, you don't exercise, you're eating the wrong foods, you're eating honey buns and pizza and just laying around the house watching Netflix and video games, how do you feel at the end of the day? You've done nothing for consciousness. You've done nothing for the world. Absolutely nothing. And you're not going to feel good at the end of that. All of those things are temporary, instant gratification. They make you feel good at first, but as soon as it's over, you feel like crap. That's everything you need to remove from your life. And you can do all of this through visualization, visualizing yourself from an event where you are now a new person in the present moment. And you fall asleep with this. You rehearse this over in your mind, this mental drama in your mind as you're falling asleep. And what happens is your inner dialogue changes from the new impression that you've made. The subconscious mind, or God, now can see you. God can now see you. There's no longer clouds above you. That God can see you. He's going to start blessing you. Okay. And you're going to hear his voice, the voice within you. Your inner dialogue is going to be telling you things that you need to do. All you have to do is all you have to do is focus on what your thoughts are. What is the right thing for me to do today? And those are the thoughts you're going to be getting. What is the right thing? You have a right thing and a wrong thing to do all day long. constantly throughout the day. You need to start choosing from that visualization. You're going to be hearing that voice to choose the right thing. This is what I need to be doing. This is what I don't need to be doing. And you're going to be guided through that process until you find yourself from your visualization. And a lot of times what will happen when you're manifesting a new version of you is not about what you're doing. It's about what you shouldn't be doing. Okay. And it's going to show you these things because you may be on the path to success from your visualization, but you need to eliminate the things that you shouldn't be doing. It's not that finding the things that you should be doing. It's about eliminating the things that you shouldn't be doing. And when you start eliminating the things that you should not be doing, then you raises your frequency and you start feeling better. And remember, feeling is the secret. And when you start feeling better, then other doors start opening and then your frequency is completely changed. You're on a higher frequency. You start meeting people on a higher frequency, start attracting things at a higher frequency because you've just quickly eliminated the things that you shouldn't be doing. And it all stems from the visualization, the scene that you created before you went to sleep of being this new person that's providing value and service to the world and that feels fantastic doing it. And these are all the things that I wish I would have figured out before I had to go to prison to figure out, to find all these things, because I was an alcoholic. I was depressed. It was always poor me, poor me. Look at the things that I'm going through. I didn't deserve this, instead of focusing on everyone else. Instead of focusing on how I can provide service and find the right feeling states to provide that service and help humanity, help the simulation grow even further than it already is and transfer in the multiverse. And that's what cured my depression. Cured everything. All the things that I had going on in my life was all based on this because I was focused on poor me instead of changing my concept of myself and focusing it outwards into the world, into where I can make it a better place and contribute to that. But of course, there were many other elements that played their parts within this, is like visualization and controlling, the direction of my attention and really mastering the muscle of my mind through the process, just like through the body as well. Like, the exercises, physical exercises, visualizing myself, doing the leaf exercise, doing everything I can to develop this skill within myself. It allowed me to harness the power of manifestation even further by figuring out what I shouldn't do, and then visualizing and changing my concept of myself. And it's all just kind of works all in unison together to really get me to that next level. So now I can teach it, and now I can provide this service, to the world and all of this value so people can implement this in their own lives and really get to that next level. And I really feel that it was my calling to really learn this and study this and learn how to change my concept of myself and become this new person. That way I can give this new person to you. And I'm going to be covering a lot more topics about my prison experience. If you want to leave a comment below and anything specific that you want to know about it and the things that I did while I was in prison, leave a comment below and I will make a video on that content. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.